So guys, this is one of the groups that observed the election that was conducted on the 25th of February 2023. It's called International Police Chaplain Organization. They've promised to release the face of how the results were transmitted and all the details that that the public will have to know in their next report. So guys, let me allow you listen to what they have to say.
International Police Chaplain Sustainable Development and Law Enforcement, IPCSL, Election Observation Mission. Preliminary statement of the Election Observation Mission for February 25th, 2023 presidential, senatorial, and legislative elections in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Abuja, February 23. Introduction. The Electoral Observation Mission of the International Police Chaplain Sustainable Development and Law Enforcement is in the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the accreditations of the National Authority represented by the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, to observe the February 25th, 2023 presidential, legislative, and senatorial election. The mission was led by Ambassador Colonel Johannes M. Makovia, the African coordinators of the organization, based in Florida in the United States. The delegations of the International Police Chaplain Sustainable Development and Law Enforcement is made up of more than 100 observers from 13 countries. The delegation has been in Nigeria since February 18, 2023, and the election observers are deployed in all the 36 states of the country, as announced to the press at the beginning of the election week. The mission is composed of officials from election management bodies, members of civil society, and independent experts. The mission was preceded by a visit to the Independent National Electoral Commission on Monday, February 18, 2023. This statement presents the finding up to the end of the vote count at the polling station and recommendations of the International Police Chaplain Sustainable Development and Law Enforcement for future election. Therefore, this statement does not cover the compilation and transmission of result phase. A more detailed report that will elaborate on these findings and recommendations for future electoral process will be issued at a later date for the benefit of Nigerian authority, Inec, and other stakeholders in electoral processes. Mission, objective, and methodologies. The ultimate objective of the International Police Chaplain Sustainable Development and Law Enforcement is to independently, objectively, and impartially assess the integrity, credibility, and transparency of February 25th, 2023 Nigerian presidential, senatorial, and legislative elections. The mission assessed the presidential election in accordance with the national legal framework governing the organization of election in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and sub-regional, regional, and international instruments govern elections, including the United Nations Charter, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the 2012 African Charter on Democracy, Elections and Governance, the OAU/AU Declarations on the Principles Governing Democratic Election in Africa, the Principle for the Management, Monitoring, and Observation of Election, abbreviated as PEMA. Upon his arrival, which is the led mission in Abuja, Ambassador Johannes Makovia, head of mission, met with the country authority as well as some head of observation mission present in Nigeria. During a briefing and orientation session, the observed were briefed on the current socio-political context and on the electoral environment and preparations. In addition, observers were trained by the mission on the best practice and methodologies of the International Police Chaplain Sustainable Development and Law Enforcement in election observations, as well as on the principle of international observation and evaluation of democratic election. The International Police Chaplain deploy its observers in Lagos, in Abuja, in the entire 6 geopolitical zones of the country, namely the Northwest, Northeast, North Central, Southwest, Southeast, and South-South. The observer met with stakeholders active in their area of deployment and observed voting and counting operations. On election day, mission observers equipped with touchscreen tablets and laptops observed the opening, voting, closing, and counting of votes in the various polling units in their area of deployment. Upon their return to the Nigerian Capital Territory, which is Abuja, the team, in a debriefing session, reported their observation to the mission leadership. 2. Political and legal contest. The presidential, senatorial, and legislative elections of February 25, 2023 constitute a crucial stage in the democratic evolutions of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and are taking place in a more or less tense socio-political context. The terrorist threats remain high in the north, the northeast, and south of the country. For several years now, several Nigerians have been kidnapped. Crime options perpetrated by groups of armed individuals, Boko Haram, and unidentified groups. Youth unemployment and overall growth of economic activities remain major challenge that the next president of the Fifth Republic, senators, and members of the House of Representatives will have to face. The legal framework for the February 25th triple election is primarily provided by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Elections and Referendum Act. In addition, there are the various decisions taken by Inec by virtue of its regulatory